Well, MHK Ralph Peake is joining us. We have the big news that not only you're going to an event in London, which also includes an award ceremony, but you've been told already you've won an award before the event, which I think is quite good. Recovery, addiction, I mean, that sort of thing is the area of this.
Yeah, that's right. It's the charity that I chair here in the Isle of Man is called Quing, and as you know, we've spoken about this before in the past, and it's going from strength to strength now, and we've actually delivered our first level 1 accredited course for our members, so that's now underway. That's an 8-week course, so at the end of those 8 weeks, our members will have a certificate, an accredited certificate at level 1 standard, to give them a qualification in actually understanding what's troubling them and what they're actually going through. So it's a great, the level 1 award is working with addiction and recovery.
And mental health is an overall umbrella in a sense, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's all an effect on that, isn't it? You know, if you had a difficult experience in your life, maybe in your childhood or early adolescence, then these things can prey on people's minds and come out in a difficulty, which could be an addiction, which could be ending up in trouble with the law, could be that pushing back with authority. And what the charity is all about is trying to help people to understand that, talk through it, and then actually get them qualified, and people back into society.
People are talking about it more, aren't they? That's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Suddenly there has been a mind change.
Yes, there has.
Excuse the pun on that one, but you know. Right, let's talk about you winning this award. What is it?
Well, it's just a recognition for the work we're doing, really, and it's titled Politician of the Year, but in this group, and I'm very pleased that we've been able to sort of keep going, really, and push those barriers down. And it's just to really recognise the effort that we've actually put into here in the Isle of Man. And it's a great honour for myself and for the charity to be recognised in the UK for this.
But I mean, reading what the citations put in, you know, you came to someone's help who was getting nowhere, and you yourself almost got in the line of fire. Can you tell us much about that?
Well, that's really about life, isn't it, Paul? It's about motivation. It's about having belief in something and keeping going and not accepting no for an answer. You know, if you believe in something and want to help people, you can't just stop at the first difficulty or hurdle or barrier. You know, you've got to believe in it and you've got to keep going, and that's what I'm all about. That's one of the reasons I got into politics, was to help those less fortunate and to help causes that I believe in. And you've got to keep going, and if you can support people, it's amazing then how much help you get, how much they can achieve for themselves. Respect people. You know, don't do things to people. Help them understand, give them some support so they can start doing things themselves. Okay. And that's really one of my core values, and that's why I've been delighted to work in Treasury, in the Social Security particularly, and the great work we're doing in Social Security. We're really changing the culture down there. We're changing the culture in the offices because they want to help people as well, and we're able then to reach out and help helping people on benefits.
While you're at this event, there's an all-parliamentary event going on. Tell us about that.
That's right. So on the first night of this, there's an all-parliamentary group. There's a discussion around about cannabis and the effects on brain, particularly on young people's brains. So that's going to be fascinating. That really is, because it's, you know, that's a topic now that people really do want to talk about.
Where do you stand on that?
I think it really wants to be decriminalised, and we want to really look at that and understand it more. Obviously there's some effects it has. We need to be ready to deal with those effects, but I think the whole idea of criminalising people and really almost dictating their life, their pathway, by criminalising them for a small amount of experimental law. Some people do claim that it helps them relax and it helps them overcome some medical issues they've got. Now, I'm no expert on that, but you know, to criminalise them for that sort of recreation and that sort of pursuit of dealing with medical issues, I think is the wrong thing to do. So we should try and reach out and treat it for what it is. But we do need to understand it. And so I'm looking forward to the debate in Tynwald later on in the year. We're hoping there'll be a debate later on in the year. And this really is a fact-finding mission for me to really understand, for some experts in this all-parliament, all-party parliament group in Westminster.
And we expect all the MHKs put their hands up saying they've tried drugs in the past. I mean, do you think it's going to get that sort of thing like the UK is going through?
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's relevant, really. I think it's looking at the facts. I think that's what's important. Keeping an open mind, that's what's important. And really then making a decision based on evidence. And that's why I'm really interested in finding out as much evidence as I can.
Are you happy with the progress here in the Isle of Man, how things are going on this front? And I also want to talk about environment quickly before we finish, because that's another one of your your special things. But
on this front,
this one first. I mean, you happy with the way the drugs and mental health and everything's being dealt with?
I think the debate in cannabis later on in the year will be a great start of that. Now, trying to separate out the medical cannabis and other things is a great thing to do. I think the medical cannabis is the first hurdle. We can understand that more and then come on to it. On the mental health side, I think, yes, Quing is making some great steps forward. Other people are now getting involved. It's great to see.
Do you wish it was all combined, though? There seems to be a lot of other people doing their own thing. Should it be more organised, or is that not possible?
Well, I don't think one size does not fit all. Right. There's not one solution, and I really do believe that. People have their own experiences, and they can understand how they can help other people, and I think that's commendable. I really do. People who have had experiences, get some education around that. Learn how you can then have a conversation with people, how you can then help people. That's what it's about, and it's really to help the professional services. The professional services, they're there for that area, but there's also that therapeutic side of it, which can really help.
But there should be some training or some sort of
absolutely
things, rather than just anyone's turning up and rocking up and saying, "Come and talk to me." I mean, it's
totally
checks
agree
and
with
balances.
And that is exactly why we are offering the fully accredited courses on.
Perfect. We've gone around that.
Yes,
and more information, you get that from your website.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Before you go, because we've got you, Tynwald's coming up soon. More on the environment, because you're normally on Mr. Boot.
That's right.
Well, keeping the pressure up.
Absolutely. So last Tynwald, there was a motion by Mrs. Kane, and there was a few amendments to that. And one of the amendments didn't get support in both houses in the legislative and MHK, so then Mr. Boot then had the opportunity to ask for a combined vote. So that will then come back to Tynwald, and that the next Tynwald sitting in June, and there'll be a combined vote on that.
And the way the Coman / the Chief Minister handled the emergency, your thoughts?
Well, that's what he decided to do.
Yeah, the way he did it, I'm asking.
Well, that was his decision to do the way he handled that.
What do you think about it?
What I'm doing is bringing in an amendment in the last House, which will again be voted on in this next coming Tynwald in June, and that's really to try and recognise the importance of this, and to ask council ministers to appoint an independent.
Will you get it?
Transition team to really look at and understand it. I really do hope now. I'm really would hope that the council ministers will reflect on this. Minister Boots, if you like, giving them this extra month to reflect on it, I really urge them to use this month wisely and to come back and to see a way of supporting that, because I think great success in health, great success with the Sir Jonathan Michael report, how that went about. I think it's great that Tynwald was able to reach out, get an expert in, listen to him, and then take it forward. Great support for that, so I'm really calling on council ministers to do the same for this, because I do think that the climate change is a massively important issue. It really is.